All right, welcome. I'm here today testing the AT81s versus the Shinko 505. So tell you a little bit about a little background here. I put about 10 hours on the Shinko 505, and you know, I was testing it out. I even ran a race with it, and I really like the tire. It's a really good tire. But here in Virginia, here recently, well, last year, it seemed like it's been raining straight for a year. So all we have is mud. And it seemed to me like the 505 doesn't like mud, and I was gonna see what the AT81 does in the mud. And give you guys a little quick comparison. So I'm gonna catch up with the wife, make sure she's doing good, and then we're gonna hit this really quick trail here. It's a nice little single track loop here. And I'm gonna try to get in the groove and kind of give it a little bit of beans and see how I feel about it. But with the 505 cheater and these AT81s, I am running the Nitro Moose. When they're brand new, they're equivalent to about 12 psi. These are a little worn, so they're equivalent to about maybe 10 psi. So that's what is in these right now. These are brand new AT81s. So let's start warm up the bike and let's rip. And it is slick, see? It is super slick, and I don't think I'll be able to get any good speed today. But this gives you a good example. Here in Virginia, this is all we got. Mud. This is why I wanted to change the tire. Which way do I go, George? That's a new reroute. It is very slick. I know it, yep, very slick. Definitely going faster than I would with the 505 cheater. Do this single track. I feel like it is definitely handling the mud better. I do feel a little bit more confident. I mean, it's hard to feel confident on a day like today where everything is just so freaking screwy. I mean, this mud is like, has the consistency of peanut butter. And you know, for an average rider like me, any little advantage I could get through this stuff, you know, definitely helps. Let's check on the wife real quick, make sure she's alright, hadn't broken any bones, don't jinx it. Your next break, I want to take that on the short loop.
I think it's my shoes. They're just...
Well, let me see. Oh, I see what she's oh. You know what's interesting? You remember when I said, okay, this is very good. I'm glad I just got on this bike. I'm gonna have to edit this into my AT81's versus 505 cheater review. That's very interesting. Yeah, it's breaking loose at a lot slower of speed than the AT81, and it has nothing to do with the two bikes, differences in the two bikes, because in this corner, it doesn't matter what bike you're on, the tire grips at a certain amount, and yeah, that's like a controlled thing. So, holy cow, there is actually a big difference in these conditions. That's interesting. Yeah, that's really interesting. I'm glad, because that's what I was racing with in the hare scramble.
Yeah.
And I was wondering why I was having such a...
all over the place.
Yeah, that's wild. There is a huge difference between the two in the mud.
I thought my brake, like, because I know you had adjusted all that, obviously, because you do all that before we...
Yeah, no, your rear brake's fine. In the drier conditions, that tire is a really good tire.
Okay.
Like, I
So
used
won't
it...
do that to me, like,
No, I put 10 hours on that tire. It's a really good tire.
Okay.
The only reason why I switched them was because I got comments saying, hey, the AT81's better in the mud, try that. So that's really...
So if it's drier, it won't do that?
No, it won't, no. Yeah. Wow, I can't believe there is that big of a difference in the mud. Let me give it some beans. Okay, yeah, wow. So I'm probably going at approximately 5 or 7 miles an hour quicker around that. I'll verify it with the speedometers. But suspension, since there's no big ruts or anything, it's just a flat track. Suspension doesn't play that big of a role in that test right there. The main key difference is the tires, because that's what's only touching the ground. There's not much like, because obviously this suspension is way better than that suspension, but that only comes into play when you're when you're rutted. Like for instance, if you were trying to make a sharp turn and going up this bank through these ruts, see, suspension right there would have played a bigger difference in the two bikes, right? But since that's just flat ground, 90 to 95% of that difference is in the tire. And that's amazing that I was able to feel that. I'm gonna take that bike around the short loop. Hopefully, I never give that bike any love. I did one video on it. It's DR200. I did one video on it when we first bought it for her. So I kind of want to see what I do in a single track. So I think in these conditions, I think the AT81's going to take the win. When the tread blocks filled up with mud, it had a hard time washing the mud out of the tread blocks. You know what I mean? Whereas these are a little bit more spaced apart, and it's got a wider footprint. The tread blocks are out further from each other. So I really do think that for these conditions, the AT81 is better than the 505. Now, if you're out Midwest, I noticed the 505 is really soft. And if you're out in the Midwest where it's dry, and you have a lot of rocks, and you need that knob to twist and be soft and grip, I think the 505 would be better out Midwest on the West Coast area.